And that right there is Hello by Lionel Richie. Welcome back to Devs and Diaries. We took a break. We're back. You can't see us every week. My name is Farhan, and I'm here with my coworker host, Michael.
Hi, everybody. I'm Michael.
All right. And
my voice is gone because I sang too much 3 days ago.
He was in the club, and, you turn it up. Was it Tuesday?
No.
Oh, but he had Tuesday energy. That's all that matters. Oh, man.
This is a somewhat weekly show where we're both developers at Jackbox Games, and we will answer your questions about game development or life in general.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Just drop any question you have in the chat. We also have a Google form if you miss us now and you want to talk with us later. Submit something on the Google form.
Yes, we have a couple of questions that we will be pulling at some point.
Oh yeah,
Google form.
Oh yeah, it's on. It's hot. It's live.
Yeah.
I'm reading right now. I'm reading at this second. First question. Oh, coming in hot. Word Spud 2 when? Game's perfect. There is no 2. It's just 1. Make it 1, never again. But we take everything we learned today. I don't know if we mentioned it. What this show is, we take everything we learned today and we try to synthesize it into like one final piece of advice that we can take together and write in our shared knowledge.
Our shared diary, which is private, but also please watch our show.
Exactly.
Perfect. Yeah, no need for sequel. Is there a Citizen Kane 2?
Exactly.
No.
They're not like Rosebud again.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, this.
Rosebud, but this time it's one of those little plastic saucer cells.
Rosebuds.
Yeah, Rosebuds.
It's the sequel to Airbud.
Yeah, okay.
It's just a flower-flavored dog. That sounds no. Okay, so I've learned something that.
Flavored.
See, that's the issue. I've learned something that when you call something, if you call something that's supposed to be scented and call it flavored, people do not like it. So we said like orange flavored urinal cakes the other day in our house, right? And that got an uproar.
Oh, yeah,
and if
that seems wrong.
But here's the thing: when you smell something, you can basically taste it. You know when you're like, that smells like pie, right? And then eventually you're like, okay, and then you have a piece of pie, you're like, yes, that tastes how it smells.
But yes, but also you can both smell and taste pie.
And you can smell a urinal cake so badly that you can taste it.
Yeah, but that's the expletive is, it smells so bad I can taste it, right?
Oh, okay, I guess that's
a
fair.
real phrase that I did not just make up, so now I win.
Damn, speaking of making up, that's the main thing here, is that I think we have a special thing we have a special game for you guys here today. We're actually gonna be playing one of the games off of Party Pack 8. Yeah, it's gonna be a job, which, wait a minute, is that in-universe branding? Is that an ad? What is this?
What is this?
What is this? A mouthwash commercial from the 50s? Oh, look at my beautiful smile provided by...
It glows because of the radiation.
I heard that mouthwash is actually all hokey science. Yeah, I heard that, like...
My dentist literally just told me that maybe I should...
Your dentist is a quack. There's no such thing. Me with no dental degree says your dentist is a quack.
Darn it.
I'm just saying, because I actually heard that for mouthwash, it was supposed to be like a floor cleaner, and then they were like, oh, halitosis is a thing. And now mouthwash is a household name because they're like, everybody got convinced that their breath smelled like booty. And now...
Is this like how the whole deodorant industry is just like actively trying to make people feel bad about the way that their body naturally smells, so that...
Pretty much.
It's like, and it's particularly bad in America. Like a bunch of other countries are just like, why would you do that thing where you like apply a stick underneath? Like, who cares?
Really? I didn't know it was like that in other countries.
Yeah. Well,
I legitimately had no clue that it was like that in other countries. I wish I did.
yeah, I mean, I've been fully indoctrinated to the point where,
I'm so bad when it comes to that. 150%.
Oh, which one do I want? I get to pick my avatar first.
I'm gonna need the room code because I'm paying attention.
It's right there on the...
Oh yeah, right, yeah, there you go. Here, that's a back of scene. What is it? Back to the scenes? No. Behind the scenes?
Is it stream discussion?
Stream
discussion channel on our Discord is where the room code is going. So if you want to come play Job with us, I can't play it anywhere else. So go to stream discussion on our Jackbox Games Discord.
Oh, and actually there was a question by JD Llama that was talking about we use nodes and clusters on our servers. What do we actually use from the game side? We're actually using mostly a socket implementation. So we're contacting and talking to those servers which also have WebSocket implementations. We're contacting them from back and forth using WebSockets. It's all WebSockets and JSON and packets and stuff like that. Not packets, but
it's JSON serialization and deserialization over a WebSocket. Mm-hmm. We no longer use Socket.io. I think we use Socket.io for like
I'm pretty sure
Pack 4 and 5, and then switched off of it.
Yeah,
I think Pack 6 was our first WebSocket one.
It actually might have been it might have even been Pack 7.
Oh, I think you might have been right.
Yeah, because Pack 6 was still using Socket.io, and I think we were still using we're using Glib WebSockets as to peel back the curtain.
Mostly Glib WebSockets.
All the consoles are using Glib WebSockets at this point. I think
iOS and tvOS are not.
Yeah,
Very
but.
sad.
Yeah, if you're ever wondering how we do this thing, it's basically socketing.
There's a whole bunch of you and only one job.
A lot,
It's
very similar to. I feel like a lot of network
That's
implementations
why I
on
developed a revolutionary
game
new
consoles too. Like a
hiring
lot of for
process.
transferring of
I'm
simple
going to
data,
interview
you see
you
a lot
all
of socket
at once and
implementations
force
for
you to
most
judge each other.
things.
Yeah, I
I feel
helped
more
with
relaxed
the
already. Deborah.
the port
Clear my
to
calendar. It's time to get to
Xbox
know
Series
our
X,
candidates.
and there was a lot of starter code, like sample code
My
that
first
they
rule
give
of
you in
management:
the
make sure employees
GDK,
feel
the game
prepared.
developer kit,
So prepare yourself for
which is
some
just their
questions
SDK.
happening right now.
There's
Let's
a
go.
lot of sample code around
I've sent
WebSocket
some
usage
icebreaker
because
questions
yeah,
to
a lot
your
of games,
device.
a
Answer
lot of
them
games
any
use
way
it. So
you
it was
want.
fairly
No
easy to
rules.
do that
Except
aspect
this
of the
one
port.
rule.
Yeah.
You gotta
Things
use at least
considered.
5 words. Okay.
Sony's very similar.
Everyone knows the more you talk,
Maybe we
the
should go over
smarter
this
you
game.
are.
It is a brand
It's
new
my
game
first
that no
rule
one's
of
ever seen
management.
before, and we have a special guest with us today.
No one's ever seen this video game before.
Michael Siciliano, everybody give up a round of applause. Special guest here today. Thank you. So, like, tell me a little bit about this game. That you lead engineered.
Lead engineer,
my friend.
Brooke Wright, came up with this game, and yeah, basically you're going to write a bunch of answer a bunch of icebreaker questions, which is what you're doing right now on your phone, and the words that you answer in these questions will be used by other players to answer job interview questions.
Ooh.
So it's magnetic poetry, that thing that's on the fridge at the house party. It's that.
Oh man, that's some of my favorite things. I feel like everybody always just puts like Mike's butt stinks or something. It always ends up being something so juvenile, and that's what makes it so good, right? Like, it's always like everybody's trying to be funny, where it's just like, oh, wiener, and then you have like one person that's just like, this person's a doo-doo head, and you're like, damn.
Good poetry.
Oh, my favorite book from childhood. Oh, I don't know what that is. Oh, of course I do.
You should hurry, time's running out.
Oh, the timer's filling up your phone with the water.
Oh, how many seconds do we have left?
5.
Oh God, I don't.
If you don't answer all the questions, it's truly okay.
It's too late. It's too. Oh, but why is it okay, Michael?
Well, yes, see, we employ a writer or
Let's put
two
these in our
at this here
filing
company.
system.
So if you don't,
Two writers. Two writers, everybody.
all the games are written.
Round of applause for that, am I right? That would be wild, right? Oh, my gosh. Oh man, they'd be like workhorses. It'd be terrible.
Now that we're all friends, I'm
And
sending
now
my
that we've
first
all
incisive
answered those
interview
icebreaker questions,
to your device.
you will be getting
But
a
instead of
stash
typing
of
your
words
responses,
on your
you'll be
device
using words from
that you
your
will
fellow
use
interviewees
to
answer the
answer
questions.
interview
In
questions.
business,
And you
we call
can
that
like
the
drag the
old
words
switcheroo.
around.
Tap any word
Looks a
you
lot like
see to add it
ever
to
used
your
Duolingo,
response. If you make a
that
mistake,
submission
tap the word
system,
again to
stuff like
remove
that.
it.
Picked up Italian again on
can also
Duolingo.
drag
I feel
Did
like
you really?
Yeah.
Didn't we have vague plans to
Can't
take
find
Italian
the right
together
word.
at one
did.
point?
We know we actually did.
Say
I've looked
something
into it.
different, I guess.
I'll still do it.
The stream can wait.
I know, right? Yeah, so you want to take Italian? What's going on? We're doing this later?
I've looked into it somewhat recently, and everything's virtual still, which I would rather just do stuff on my own until
That's where I want
point at
to.
which I could get in person, like dialogue stuff happening.
It's really hard to learn a language over digital. I was
Yeah.
doing Japanese for like the last 2 years, and it's very difficult when you don't have a teacher in person. It takes a lot of like effort and just a lot of like.
I agree.
But it's a good time. If you ever want to take Italian though, I'm absolutely here.
Hey, once we just need an Italian friend.
We do need. Aren't you Italian?
I am, but I don't speak Italian. I need a friend I can exploit for their knowledge of Italian. How about that? That's different than
Seems like we need to bring Jordan into it. Just come in and be like, hey, all right.
Yeah. Let's see.
I'm here to inform you that you've used half your time.
There we good.
Oh God, there's more.
Behemoth Bear says that they want to eat Italian.
Oh
Yeah, Italian's great. Good food.
Oh, okay. Oh, I got it.
Yeah, there's a bunch of cameos. Owen Watson is the lead artist on this game, and he went buck wild, putting a bunch of references on these screens, the creation screens.
All right, we're
Education. There's more to life than the shower.
I absolutely.
we were just talking about odors.
Yeah, we were actually.
Audience, you were doing such a good job. This is exactly.
It's audience curated.
Yeah, those are made by the audience.
I didn't know that. And do
Yeah.
they type? Is it like a conglomerate of
there's,
typing?
there's a
What's
bunch
a
of word
takeaway
options that they
lesson from your
choose
last job?
for the. There's two word slots.
These are both pretty
yeah.
great, but I like one of them better. I just need you guys to remember which one.
Anywhere near
For your
planes.
favorite now.
Oh, I think my favorite little touch in this, my favorite touch in the art here is the word art round titles, like round one,
Yeah,
round two, right?
yeah. Ooh,
I love
that's
it.
a good- oh, this is gonna be a job lash.
We don't call it quipplashes. We don't own that. We don't own that IP.
Synergy. Right. Right. Very different.
God, the amount of the amount of times things are called like quipplashes when it's not a
That's
quiplash,
not what
when
it
it's not
is,
part of
yeah.
quiplash, it's insane at this
Are
place.
voting along in the audience?
The-
Well, they are.
The pure unicycle.
Uh-oh. My drink is running out. Need to.
You got to be on brand. Make sure the cup has to be facing out, Michael.
Wait. Piano unicycle was the right choice.
Piano unicycle was great.
And then, oh yeah, so the words are colored to match the author that they came from, and then you get bonuses on the side if you wrote some of those words. So there's a bit of an incentive to write good words.
My dearest father will kill a bunch of ducks off a frame. That's so good.
My dearest father would
Listen.
kill a bunch of ducks. up
My
there.
What makes you unique? The sins of my father. I'm cursed from now until forever.
Using words for
This-
3 different people is worth a
Okay,
bonus.
this is interesting. How we do the coloring of these words.
Yeah.
Okay, so
What was your
You
biggest issue with
don't
your
know
former employer?
the words that are going to be displaying on screen, right? They're all user submitted. So you can't just have like a bunch of like boxes that are moving around.
Yeah.
The way that we do this is that for all of these text fields that are displaying your submission, we have a second text field right behind them, aligned in the same spot. And there is
Oh.
a font that is just a bunch of blocks.
So that way you can get the individual highlights behind it.
Like
Oh, that makes a lot of sense,
A, B, C,
yeah.
whatever, every one of those letters in the font is just a block. And we set both text fields to the
Mm-hmm.
same values, right? And then then we tween, just change the color of gradually from this beige color to the specific color for sub parts of that second text field. And
Really?
that's how you get the author colors.
So instead of doing it character by character, what made you guys want to do it character by character instead of just like text box by text box and then having just multiple text boxes that way? Or is that how you're doing it right now? And
There's 2 text boxes. Bottom text box is
oh, so it's only 2. It's not per character.
correct.
Oh, okay, got it.
2 text boxes. Back one is the color highlight, which is a font that if you look at the font maps, it's just a bunch of blocks.
That's
Quite interesting. I think it's quite interesting.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's always those like small little weird. All the big features are always fun to see, but I feel like a lot of the most fun I have is with the small little tweaks like this. Like adding those little weird pieces of polish is so much fun. I don't know what about it. I feel like that's when the creativity comes out.
Yeah. It was also one of those, it's kind of like an easy thing to ask for, but a hard thing to do. Because
Yeah.
also,
Oh yeah.
like, at some point, like, Scaleform stops being, if you can't set each individual character to a color, it's like, this is too long of style. Because it's HTML text at the base level, right? And if you had, like, an HTML open font, close font for every single character, the actual HTML text is too long. So you need to know
Way to
the
motivate.
end and start index for each author.
Okay.
Like, you only need to change it based on if the author changes.
Oh, okay. So that's how you minimize the amount of tags you have because you could just do it in one block instead.
Yep.
That makes a lot of sense. I like that a lot.
Yeah, that question.
Yes, I got the audience. I got one person in the audience to like my traffic.
So, fist-based consequences asked, I'm sure you probably answered this almost certainly, but what do you use for animation? Is it all just HTML5 and CSS animation and JS? Or something like Adobe Animate, Toon Boom? It's Adobe Animate, yeah. It's Flash running, it's Flash, our curation tool is Adobe Animate, and it's running in an engine that we have made ourselves that's kind of based around a scale form.
Yeah.
So, it's Flash content.
I think we look.
Flash is not dead. We are still releasing games on it.
Yeah, actually, Flash is.
And many other game studios are
A
still releasing
lot of
games.
people. I know that when they were talking about Flash getting deprecated not that long ago, and they were like, "Oh yeah, browsers are not gonna use Flash anymore." There was this whole uproar in the game dev community. It was just like, "What are we gonna do?"
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
It was like
The browser doesn't play it anymore, but like.
That's where it was like the one blessing is that it didn't really matter. It didn't really matter mostly
Rockstar Runner
because
does still use Flash, Tour, although they are working on, well, they're working on a couple of things. But one of the things that they're working on is converting it to,
That was a truly brilliant display.
I think to
Let's see
HTML5
my current favorite.
for
Really?
some of their web content. And they're also just, now they're just recording, they're just exporting them as like MOVs
Good
and then
effort,
uploading them to
everyone. Let's
YouTube.
regroup with some
Right,
more
I mean,
that makes a lot more sense
you
than having
lose
like
all
a
the
Flash
interactive
Swift file. Or
Oh yeah, you lose all the interactive elements that make it so cool. But there's also there's
Just don't skip on the details. Put some
Ruffle.
meat on those
If you're
word
interested
bones.
in this stuff, Ruffle is a Flash emulator that you can just play a Swift file basically.
Yeah.
And getting a in-browser version of Ruffle working would be very large for the Flash architect community, not architect.
Development community.
No, like people maintaining old stuff. Historian, like the Flash historian community. Like we lost a bunch.
Preservation community.
Yes, I feel like that's
Maybe?
it's not the word I wanted.
What was the word? Claire, I feel like you know what it is.
Yeah. Oh well.
I'm here to inform you that you've used half of your time.
Oh right. Yes, we only have to do 2 icebreakers. Empowerment. I'm yourself.
Time's almost up.
What does it even mean? The audience poster idea was one of those design team decisions that like we came up with so that the audience has something to do while while the players are either writing or creating their job app stuff. But I think it's so like it's one of those things where all you're doing is choosing like 1 or 2 words out of it. Oh no, you're choosing a picture and a word. That's what it is. You choose the stock photo and a word. And yet, every time, they're funny. Like,
It's
they're just
so funny.
every time.
There's something about that format, like the inspirational poster format that's
Yeah.
so funny. I don't know what it is. I think it's just the juxtaposition of like something that's supposed to be serious and then you put nonsense underneath it. You're like, okay.
Handle some
Yeah.
tough workplace scenarios. Remember, you can use any word you see
Oh
on your
gosh,
device in your
we're talking about
answer.
acrophobia.
Try grabbing the word
Agoraphobia?
from the
Didn't make that game.
If you really
Which game?
fall in love with the word,
Acrophobia.
try
I don't know what
the
that
whole
is.
bunch and use it again.
Listen, if it's not a Jackbox game, I've never heard of it. You know,
People keep thinking that we made acrophobia. We did not.
Undertale, haven't heard of it. Every other game, haven't heard of it. You heard this Call of Duty? I haven't.
The Halo technical thing.
Haven't heard of it.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, what about the Halo tech demo?
I didn't play it at all. I was wondering if you had thoughts on it. But
Oh, when did it come out? I feel like was it
think
the
it might have
multiplayer demo?
yeah, it was the multiplayer demo.
I don't know how I feel about it. I like where Halo is going. It's modernizing, but at the same time, it's becoming more
Like
losing
other
less
stuff.
pro. Like
Yeah,
I feel
it's becoming like it. When I saw videos, I was like, oh, this is like Valorant. It's a lot like Valorant.
Mm-hmm. And that's not a shade on. That's not too much shade
No,
on.
I love
like,
Valorant.
It's good. I feel like there's one thing that people forget, or one thing that's often forgotten, is that how much of games, the games industry is about innovation rather than invention. It's a lot of like polishing and creating some of the best experiences of mechanics that might already exist. So you have Halo that had its own. I got to do this real quick.
Yeah. It's one of those moments where it's like I don't have the word the, and this sentence is gonna be real janky because of that.
Is it just two? Perfect. Innovation. Games are a lot about innovation. A lot of times, even though Halo might feel like it's losing a lot of its old Halo love, given because I love like the old school Gandhi hop and the.
Yeah, here's the other thing though. The Gandhi hop.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I used to
what you're
be.
talking
I know.
about.
I was
Okay.
into Halo. Hey, listen, you're not the only Halo head in this office.
Tyler says
You would kick my ass in multiplayer, but I know a little bit.
I could
ruin
four
this
shot
whole deal.
somewhat consistently in Halo 3, like a four shot of BR burst.
Yeah.
Like I could get it most of the time, but I was definitely not even the best in my friend group.
Carbine was my thing. I could destroy
It's a faster
the carbine.
it's a faster time to kill than, yeah. Here's a fun fact for all the viewers who I'm sure are all enamored in this conversation.
Oh yeah.
The Covenant Carbine in Halo 3 had a faster time to kill than the Halo 3 battle rifle, but you had to hit every headshot.
That's why I liked it.
So,
That's exactly why I liked it. Hey, welcome to the Halo hole.
Yeah.
This is the weekly Halo podcast here at Jackbox Games.
No one's dancing at the holiday party. How do you get a party started? Welcome, Dr. Beach.
Aw, dude. Okay, I feel like
Dr. Beats, maybe it's a metronome joke. The Dr. Beats metronomes, I'm sure everyone knows about them.
I feel like the party started by a hen fish swimming. Because imagine this. Dr. Beats might show up, but if you walk in giving it the awkward
Dr. Beats
salmon.
used their own name.
Oh, that's a good name. That is a really good name. I like Dr. Beats. Oh, sorry.
Underwater and
Who's Dr. Beats? Oh, you've heard of Dr. Dre, right? This is his doctor.
You also
Dr.
look up
Beats.
Dr. Beats metronomes. They're very good in case you're someone who's trying to practice their tempo control.
Temp? I still lost?
What?
Dang it.
Audience? Oh, well.
Man, you know, just
We have separate tastes, the audience and I.
no one likes swim underwater. No, all the players
All
got
the
swim.
players
All
like
the players
swim
like swim
underwater.
underwater. Yeah.
Oh. I guess we have a different vibe than the audience.
Yeah. We're a little too positive. Are we a little too negative?
Oh, man.
I think one of my favorite parts about this game is just how simple it is. It's like Mad Libs just yes.
Oh!
You redeemed yourself.
No!
Listen, all right. I am funny sometimes.
Audience,
Visibly
no.
How do you sanitize
Oh,
the
man.
area without offending?
I do miss. What was I talking about? The one thing I do love about this game is how simple it is. It's like Mad Libs on
I think
crack cocaine.
sometimes it's like a little confusing to try and explain, but people immediately understand it. People immediately understand it after playing through even just one round. Like even the second round, I feel like it's just pretty much smooth sailing through the end, which is great.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's
Unlimited
All
breast
the
sticks,
dongles are
good
tangled.
deal.
I think that is pretty good. Like
A deal?
that's it. Yeah, no, for
Unlimited
sure.
breadsticks?
Me too. I mean, I'm so sad Alpha Gordon doesn't have it anymore. It was the.
That was the only reason to go to Olive Garden.
I know. All the dongles are tangled. That's impossible. What do you mean?
The movie for dongles.
Yeah, it says all the dongles are tangled. I didn't come up with this.
Wait, was your response to the prompt, all the dongles are tangled, to say that's impossible?
Yeah.
No.
How can a dongle be tangled?
From the office kitchenette. What's your next?
What do you mean?
Explain to me. You have a Bluetooth dongle, right? It's like a one piece, like a one little piece. How are you gonna tangle it?
I don't know, I'm gonna put all the dongles in a box. You're making me lose my fucking...
How are they gonna get
I don't know.
tangled?
I'll show you the closet with all of our cables.
And I'll show you those are wires, not dongles.
Okay, fine.
It's not possible. Shoot, I missed voting on this.
I guess a dongle does have to be like
A dongle's a brick.
2 inches or less, right?
That's like me saying, oh man,
Talking about a TV show you
look at
never
all
seen.
my bricks. They're in a, oh, shoot, that's not gonna work. But it's just like, yeah, like, oh, here's all my bricks. They're all up in each other. They're all intertwined. No,
You can't.
it's a wall.
Yeah.
Right, it's just stacking on top of each other. This isn't, you're not tangling the dongle.
All these bricks are tangled.
All these ducks, what's up with them? They're into each other.
Oh.
Oh, my bad.
Audience is it's interesting because the player base and the audience base is pulling from, in some ways, a similar
Bring your
group, right?
child to
Yeah.
work day
Well,
and
yeah,
raise
yeah.
Maybe it's the
son
players are
with
more
not
Discord
you.
and audience is more like streaming platforms. So because
Oh, yeah, 'cause it is across the board.
Why is the audience consistently voting against the players? Like that's what I'm. I'm needing a haircut.
It is. Don't be. Most of the time when you go to the, you go to the hairstylist, you didn't expect to be in trouble like that.
Yeah.
It's I want
It'd be
to.
unfortunate if it. Yeah.
I want to shave in a shampoo.
but
I
that's-
didn't
I
expect
mean-
what this meant.
Yeah.
You put the poo in shampoo.
How do you respond?
Up top.
Uh,
Here we go. Here we go. It took a couple weeks, but we came back around to it. We made another poop joke.
God, now I'm traffic.
Man, as much as humans get, not as much as humans get crap, as much as robots get crap, I don't have a problem with it as much. I mean, if it's supposed to make the life, everybody's talking about the robot uprising, right?
Yeah, but like.
How much agency do you really have in this life? Like, what difference does it make?
That's true, actually. You have very little. There's a
Like,
comment from Egyptian Sniper. We need to have an audience setting be able to toggle in mid-game. Here's an interesting thing. So that's very hard to do because of how our server infrastructure works. Basically, when you hit play game on our games, we make a call to our servers that's like, hey, give me a room. Like, create a room for me. And that room has an ID, like a 4-letter ID. So in this case, it's LDJJ. And that room also has other properties tied to it that is going to determine how that room is going to behave over the course of a game. One of those things that we need to know, at least in our current infrastructure, at the time of room creation is whether or not the audience is on. Because it changes how, if you try to join a lobby and it's like restricted to Twitch users or like password protected, you should still be able to join the audience in the lobby even before players are filled. This is just kind of the complications around room create is why setting audience to off mid-game isn't a thing.
Yeah. Another big thing is like the post-game gallery also gets affected by audience too, right? Because there's data that needs to get set up for the post-game gallery to show you all the cool stuff, like all the vote distribution and stuff. And that also has some unintended problems with that too. Like mid-game audience will end up making it a problem because it's just like, okay, well, in round one we didn't have audience numbers, but then we're trying to check for audience numbers, and it ends up being like a huge problem. The room create thing is the major issue.
That is,
but there's also like other problems too with it.
major issue is room create, and then also just like we'll make decisions in the branching nature of the game based on whether or not the audience setting is on, and testing whether or not you've changed the setting halfway through and if the game still works. There's a lot of complexity there.
Yeah. It is something we've thought about, though.
But
so,
yeah, I mean, we had these discussions, and it's not impossible. It is not impossible. But also, the game needs to come out at some point. So we need to have discussions about where do features get to before, because games are never finished, they're just released.
Yeah.
And they can always get better. And being able to toggle the audience setting mid-game would absolutely make the game better. Like,
Completely
right?
agree.
It would definitely make it better. It's just,
Half your time is up.
we only have so much time, and it's one of those things that we talked about. We had a pretty okay idea of like what it would take to get done, but we did not have the time to get it done.
And yeah, I mean, in Party Pack 8, the whole settings got overhauled too. We have a lot of other settings that I know there's a bunch of settings that didn't get, that you used to just be stuck with, like some of the VO, like some of the sounds and subtitles and stuff like that. So in the process of just trying to get all of that also working too, it was, I think, like setting the audience up. It just took a lot more thinking. It was, I think it took a lot more thinking than we probably had time for.
Yeah. Yeah. We wanted it though. We wanted it. Avery says audience interaction in this game is very fun. Thank you.
Oh, is there live
Don't let me down.
entering or whatever? Partial entering?
Sniper has responded with that makes sense. Of
What's up?
They responded saying that it makes sense why it's not there. But
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I do like that we can just talk to people directly.
Yeah.
It is kind of nice, right? It makes the room feel like it's a little bit more full.
I deserve nothing. I get capitalism.
I like that a lot. I deserve everything. I get monstrous-looking beings.
Yeah, I knew I was gonna lose to capitalism.
It's the
You
final
always
Oh.
lose to capitalism.
Everybody does.
Everyone loses.
Once it gets your claws in you, it's just like, what do I do?
Can I interest you in some socialism?
Oh, please do. Don't threaten me with a good time. You know,
Pieces of doubloons.
wink. God. I think that's the best part about being a pirate. I feel like that gives you the reason to use the word doubloons. And it makes me sad that I don't have a reason to do that. I want sand. Oh.
Okay, Aaron says, when the poster info is displayed on the webpage, you see text. So, okay, when you say see text, do you mean that like text is actually being displayed, or do you mean that the screen reader is reading it? I am intentionally sending that text, new poster, woman at desk with hands in air, excellent, whatever. So I am intentionally sending that text, but if it's displaying on screen, then I think that is a problem. It should just be the screen reader thing. Yeah, I mean, we'll see if Aaron responds. If we want to debug our games live, well, we.
Right, yeah, just sitting here, just like, all right.
The screen reader is reading the. Oh. Okay, thank you, Aaron. Yeah, I might have something at the end of that text that shouldn't be there. A $S. All right, I'm making it now. This is good. This is good. Good stuff. We still have time to fix it.
Nondescript Game Boy game. Oh, somebody in the chat just showed me that you can tap the job sign to make it mess around.
Yeah, maybe something will happen if you do it.
I didn't know that.
I don't know. I didn't make the game.
See, we're learning a lot. We're learning a lot about each other, each other's games that we've been working on for so long that I didn't even know about. That's crazy.
Thank you, Aaron, for that. Yeah. No problem. A bunch of $. That's funny.
I deserve. Oh. Oh my God. Oh, good Lord.
I get
Almighty liars. This is true. That's hard.
They're both so good.
Oh boy. Oh man, I gotta go.
I gotta go murder.
I gotta.
though.
So I went the other way. I went Almighty
good,
Liars.
go.
No,
You
I
did it
had
right.
to,
Cool,
no, for
okay.
sure. I had to go Almighty Liars. There's something about that term that I love.
Oh,
That's funny. Murder Crush is funny as hell.
God, that's so great.
Man, there's so many little features of this game. There's so many little accents in this game that I love, like the presentation, then Mr. Bubbles, and then the circle. You said that it was a big problem trying to get the word art stuff. Who's winning? Oh, nowhere close.
Dang.
The job goes
I was in
to-
second, but ended up in third.
Congratulations.
Fudge
Your business
bag.
dividends and
Congratulations.
Killed it. We got all beat by a bag of fudge.
welcome to the team.
That's the worst part.
Oh, and
You never think.
There were some internal deliberations about whether or not the word art should be in the game. That's what I'll say.
Okay. Oh, really?
And we had to fight for it to be in the game.
Oh, you know what? I'm happy.
Every single playtest we've done, people have called out that they love the word art. So at some point, we were able to just be like,
Everybody loves it.
give the people what
You
they
know?
want. Give them what they want.
Oh man, it's so funny to me, and it brings back like all those '90s vibes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's so good. Oh man. Well, let me re-intro real quick. For anybody just joining us, this is Devs and Diaries. It's a kinda weekly show we do here, where we answer questions from you. So anything you want to ask about game dev, our games, life in general, whatever it may be, feel free to drop it in the chat. And if you don't care,
Do you see that? Do you see that extremely used sentence?
contributing writers.
Yeah, it was. Well, no, it was. At the end, we show icebreakers that were used a lot, and one of them was Farhan and Michael are extremely chill human beings, and that had words used 12 times. And the one time I remember seeing it was when we got called liars.
Extremely highlight, yeah. We're good liars. That's the problem. But yeah, if you have a
Sorry, I
question,
did cut you off.
No, for sure. If you, I don't know, whatever. It's our show. We can do whatever we want. But if you have a question, feel free to drop it in the chat or drop it in our Google Drive question, Google form
There's
question.
a Google form on the blog post about Devs and Diaries that you can submit your questions to.
Yep.
At any time during the week, and we will answer them.
Yeah,
in the following show.
Google Jackbox Devs and Diaries. It should be a forum post on it's a blog post on our website. So check it out. In the meantime,
the murder game in this pack, weapons drawn.
Oh, it is weapons drawn. Let's take some questions actually, some from the forum. One of them is, when did you wake up today? I woke up at either cheeky 6:30.
That is cheeky. Wow.
It was awful. My body didn't let me sleep most of the time.
Cheeky in the opposite direction. I woke up at 11 today. Just late.
Ooh. What time did you go to sleep though? Because you go to sleep at like 2 or 4 in the morning.
Yeah, it was like 3:30.
3:30?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I went to bed at a hot like 11:30 and woke up at a 6:30. So, I mean, you win some, you lose some. I mean, I went to bed at 11:30.
Win some,
I have
you lose
wicked, yeah, mostly. Yeah, no, especially with sleep. Oh, I have a hot L every time. Bad RNG.
Here's one. Fist-based consequences asked if there's an email address or something they can send unsolicited game pitches to. No, don't send us game ideas. We legally cannot use them.
This is true.
And it's basically the same as you burning the idea. Just don't do it. Just don't send us. It's a legally problematic thing to do.
Right.
So
But we do encourage you to make your own.
Yes,
If
but
you
do
love
make
it,
them. But
if
do
you
make them.
want to
Like-
make a game,
like,
you have a great
make the
idea.
game.
Oh, for
Don't-
sure.
Don't send us the game ideas. Make the game.
Yeah, 100%. And in this podcast, we've also talked, it's not a podcast. In the show, we've also talked about some kind of strategies when dealing with and making your own game. So I highly recommend checking it out. Some of it's goofiness, but sometimes we try to give real advice on game dev too. So hopefully that might help. And if you have any questions on starting that game, hey, shoot it our way. Except that don't shoot the idea our way. That's all you, but otherwise, if you have questions, I guess we're here for that.
Yeah.
There's actually another question in the form that was submitted that I wanted to talk about. It says, what sort of things do you recommend when taking breaks during a project to avoid getting too stressed out? I love this question because this is something that I'm trying to employ now after talking to people. One of the recommendations that I get is, hey, actually schedule a break in your day. So actually schedule and say, for these 15 minutes, I'm busy. And don't do anything, that is just you time in the middle of doing stuff. Because more often than not, at least me personally, I forget about time. I forget what time it is, and then I start working on something, and then it's like 7 p.m. and turns out I didn't eat or break.
Yeah. I forget to eat pretty often.
All the time.
And like it is easy to not notice, like, the process of getting burning out happens slowly. It's not like this, like, one day you, it can sometimes feel like one day you wake up and you realize that you're burnt out, but like the steps that get you there are often very small and incremental.
Yes.
So like,
Oh yeah, I didn't know that.
and the things that you can do to counteract it are often also pretty small and incremental. Like schedule 15 minutes a day where you just take a break and it's not even like taking the break makes you less efficient, because like study after study shows that in fact if you actually don't work into these massive chunks of time and like have at least some breaks in there,
Yeah.
you will just be more productive. So
I've also heard that, like, in the same vein, I've also heard that there's a lot of times where your body just stares off in the distance. Like, staring off in the distance is actually good for you, because your brain sort of resets in that moment when you're not processing anything.
It's like you can. This has happened over and over for me, where it's like I'll be banging my head against a problem, and then I give up, and then the shower the next morning is where the solution arrives.
Shower,
It's
yeah, it's a big one.
never like you can be trying too hard. You can absolutely be trying too hard.
100%.
I do just want to show this audience poster on this mug, which I feel like is quite good.
I love the mugs. The mugs are so much fun.
Don't fear bones. Bone humor. It's in right now. Bone humor is in right now.
Listen, I'm gonna make the same joke I made earlier. Hey, Michael, 2:30, right?
Oh.
Am I right?
Well,
Dentist? Where's my dentist? He gets
Dentist
it.
time? Well, apparently I should get a new one because I don't need mouthwash.
You
heard it here first.
That's what I'm saying. Your dentist is a quack if they like mouthwash. I have no professional experience, but they're a quack and you shouldn't listen to them. I learned this from the YouTubes, all right?
Oh, gosh.
I'm a YouTube warrior now, didn't you know?
Okay.
You don't want to be a part of this bit? Just like, listen, stop it.
No, but.
Oh, man.
It's like, yes and, but.
You know what? No, but you suck. How's that sound?
Don't fear bones.
Oh, man. All right. I think there was one other question that I wanted to get into, but I think we should start our next game, and then as we're starting up our next game, I think we can start getting into that.
Well, I mean, are we sure we wanna? Should we take just like a straw poll or something to determine whether or not we start the next game?
Yeah, actually, audience, if we can poll the audience real quick, what does the audience think? Should we play the next game? Is that
well,
like
actually, instead of just polling the audience, what if we just like, I don't know,
played with them?
Yeah.
All right. I got it. So we're actually not playing a game. We're playing with your hearts. This is not. It's the end of the show. No, it's not. I'm just joking. But
We are gonna.
We're actually. That leads into our next game.
Which is called the Pullman.
Mm-hmm.
That's a segue.
It's a. You know what? It seems like that was a pretty sleek segue if I heard it.
A little birdie told me that you might have worked on this game.
I don't know who told you that, because they're a fat liar. Because I didn't do anything. This isn't my game. No, this is exactly what I did. This is what I've been working on.
I had a moment of panic. You made me panic a little bit. I was like,
wait, what game did you work on? No, this is the game that I ended up working on this year. Oh, dude. I'm gonna pick my favorite character because it's my favorite character.
It's you, the audience, right? So you're playing, right?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't need to do anything.
I mean, you can. Do you want to? All right. I mean, I guess it's too late now. But it's just me versus the audience. How many do we have? Oh, it's already up. All right, cool.
Yeah, we're good.
The room code's already up. Yes, but this is the game that I've been working on. It's kind of like. What's up?
Wait, do we want to do streamer mode or do we?
Do we want to do streamer mode? Yeah, I think we want to do streamer mode, but maybe.
Right? This is wrong, right?
It's gonna be.
Yeah, okay. Back to game menu and then.
Did we want to do us two versus the audience?
Well, streamer mode should just be a single player, right? That's how that works.
No, it can be anywhere between 1 and 10 players. So we have a streamer mode in this game. Actually.
I see.
Yeah.
So I'm actually learning how this works, right?
Yeah. No. So it's gonna be us two against the audience.
Oh, okay. So max players of 2.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Max players of 2. Then you go to streamer mode. Okay.
Yeah. So this is gonna be Poll Mine is a game where we actually can play against the audience for the first time. So basically, the audience is gonna be one team, and the people that are streamers are gonna be on another team. So we're working together. All the answers go in cumulatively, and it's kind of Family Feud-esque in that sense. Like, where they in Family Feud where they poll the audience and they're like, we asked 100 people if. But now the people that they're asking is us, the players, including everybody in the audience, and everybody gets to play along now. So as the audience, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be giving in survey answers. You're going to be answers to surveys. You're going to be ranking them, and then along with it, you're also going to be guessing when the round comes up. And as a team, it's going to bring all those guesses together and then choose the top most rated answer for the audience. And then we're basically going to kind of play against each other, and then whoever wins at the end wins.
And it's gonna be us.
It's absolutely going to be us. You guys are going to get so crushed. You don't understand. I'm part of the U.S. Census. I know everything.
You're part of the U.S. Census.
Welcome. This is a government podcast. No, it's not a podcast. Why do we keep calling it that? Oh, did we not?
It's fine.
Did you pick a team name?
Oh, no. I was gonna say
Start
the
of the
U.S.
game?
government.
I did, but I put the government.
Oh,
Dang it! Ah, man, we're on the same we're on the same page.
Has captured some
Wow, we have 95 spiders.
Oh man, that's a lot of people.
belongs to me.
Oh, so how does this game work? Basically, what it is right now we're gonna be there's gonna be a tutorial going in right now, happening right now too. So basically, what it is we're gonna be answering questions, and you're gonna answer the survey.
Half the bones, bone humor. It's in.
It's oh man, what's the other one?
Pick the options that best
2:30. Have you heard that one? Oh man, I tell you, it's just.
You had to search for it.
That
was the best part. It was
no.
Third callback.
2:30. Yeah, you guys know about this one. When the skeleton go to yeah, man.
You'll have to try and guess which one.
But the way this game works is it's actually being described right now in the tutorial.
Answers from most to least popular.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
seems we have some
You're gonna rank stuff,
along for the ride.
and
They
then
can't
the stuff that
play,
you rank
but I
is
will
going to
let
be
them answer
displayed,
surveys
and we will have to
themselves.
guess how
So let's start
you all
with
ranked them.
Yeah, so we're gonna be answering the same questions. So we kind of have an idea of what the questions are gonna be, but we don't know what people are answering. So the only thing we know is how we answered the question, and then based on that. But we also, while we're discussing, we also don't want to tell everybody everything. So we got to be kind of sleek about what information you give. There's two modes in this game.
So they're going to do the same door selection process?
Yep, they're going to do the same door selection process.
Got it.
But the way this game works is, so there's a regular mode and then there's a streamer mode. The streamer mode is everybody that's in the room against a group of audience, and then the regular mode is everybody in the room goes against each other. So you split up into two teams. It's up to 10 players, so you can do 1 against 9, or 5 and 5, 3 and 7, doesn't matter, and kind of go from there. Uh-oh.
Yeah, wait, what is happening?
What is happening?
Is
It's possible we have a bot in the audience. I don't know if that would break in.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Is there any game audio coming through?
Oh no. Okay. We might have to not play Pole Mine. I forgot about this. This is one. Oh man, this is one.
Wait, is there a bug?
But here's the crazy part. It's only on. So the person running the stream right now, it's only on their account. It's like the weirdest thing.
Oh no!
This is the one bug that exists
bug.
on one account across the. I can't figure out what this bug is. I've never seen it ever happen.
Audience, we are so sorry. We are
so sorry about that.
But this is kind of a fun one.
This is impossible. Like
Okay.
so
Do you
this.
wanna, describe this.
Yeah.
So nice.
So while in the development of this game, I've looked through everything about this game, back and forth. There's this one bug, and there's not a single account I've ever seen that's ever actually been able to do this, except for Clara's computer. Clara's computer is the only computer that lets this happen. Sorry for the name drop. Okay, good. Yeah. But it was like this is the most frustrating thing in my life currently is why this game does not work.
So what does it mean for us for Pole Mine now?
Well, it means we can't play it, but next time we will, because I'll just sign in on my account. I don't know. It is a crazy.
So it's account based.
It's account based, but only Clara's account, because I thought it was computer based. I actually logged into the computer with my account, worked perfectly fine. I think Clara was coming up with some trailer material, and we were trying to make that work out. All day we went back and forth trying to get the account, like trying to get the game to run. It just randomly hangs at that moment every single time, no specific reason. Spent the entire day, couldn't figure it out. I logged into the exact same computer, worked perfectly fine. So, if you ever are talking about, hey, bugs that might drive you insane, or like a project that like a specific part of a piece of a project that drives you nuts, it's this. I have no clue what the issue is, but I'm gonna keep looking.
Oh gosh. So what do we do now? We could play.
I mean,
we could do another game of Job. We could do Wheel.
Could
We
we?
didn't work on.
We didn't work. I mean, is Drawful on the table? We could play Drawful. I mean, I worked on Drawful.
Okay.
I worked on Drawful for quite a while. I know how the drawing. Oh, actually, I know how all the drawing works. So I mean, we could talk about the drawing code and all that stuff, because I've been.
Does Drawful Animate use straight line, or does it use old stuff?
It uses old stuff. It doesn't even use straight line. I do want to bring your straight line into it though, because we need a parent class, for bitmapping and all that stuff. But we'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about that later.
That's a personal conversation for us. Listen, you're not part of that. You can't be a part of that. That's private conversations.
Actually, chat is calling for Wheel, but
Oh, Chad is calling for Wheel?
chat is calling for Wheel.
I mean, I'm okay with pulling an audible and doing Wheel, honestly. Drawful Animate, I didn't. The one thing I didn't.
What do you think? What do you think?
You know, if everybody's if we're.
Oh,
if,
wait, now
we want to see Drawful? Do we want to see Wheel?
Drawful?
Listen. See, this is why poll mine would have been useful, because we could have taken a poll.
Okay.
Let's.
For the
Next
next
time,
episode,
let's
next
do
episode
Wheel and-
Diaries, we'll sign into Steam on your account.
Yeah, and then we'll.
That will solve.
Yes, and we'll sign into my Steam account, and then we'll play. Next time we'll play Wheel and Poll Mine for sure. I promise. Brenna, let's play some Drawful, huh?
Yeah, let's play some Drawful. Hey.
Hey, forget about it.
Hey. We'll do Poll Mine next time, and we're sorry.
Yeah, that's on me. That's on me. Actually, it's not. I have no idea how to fix it, but I'm gonna try.
It's not on me. It's outside of the realm of,
I promise. I'm trying to figure it out.
like, yeah. There's stuff like that for all of our games. It's like it only appears on specific machines. In we've had directors with like builds of the games that are broken, and they just need to like uninstall Steam before it's like, yeah, it's no good. No good.
It's weird.
Game development is actually terribly difficult. There's your fun fact for the day.
I think it
What
is.
is Job about? Job is about using other people's words to answer job interview questions and get that job by being the best interviewee.
You know, for all this anti-capitalism, you're trying to promote getting a job and everything. That's messed up. We're trying to promote being part of the workforce. How could we?
Yeah, we actually talked about, because at the end of the game, you have a starting salary that is your score. Like, your score is your salary, which I think works. But
In
also,
the context, but it's also weird.
It's also weird because it's just like, salaries are, you know.
Yeah, the equating of like a worth based on a salary. Yeah. See, I hope people don't take our games too seriously. That's all that matters. If you play role models and someone calls you a stinky dunderhead, they don't. You know, the game doesn't mean it. The game doesn't mean it. It's just trying to play a goof.
I've hit submit on my thing and it's not showing up in the game. Should I be worried?
Oh, I'm not sure. Can you press start? Oh, start from the controller. How?
Right.
Oh,
but,
gotcha.
but they're not showing up, and I'm wondering.
Somebody asked, how are people getting into the game? Join our Discord server. Our Discord has we put our room code in the Discord chat before we actually start.
I say just hit start, and
And
then
see what happens.
if people's stuff doesn't show up, then
Oh, everybody sings.
Oh, it's part of a reveal.
Uh-oh,
See, we didn't work on this game long enough to know whether or not this was broken.
I think no.
Part of it.
Maybe. I actually don't know. I thought it was supposed to.
The game starts.
Is everything broken?
Listen.
We only have. Is our release date announced?
Of your animation.
Hell, listen, mommy and daddy have to talk for a second.
Is our release date announced? Can we just push it back?
Can we play this game? Are we allowed to play this game? Is this okay?
Can we just push the release date back
Maybe like a year.
yeah,
I think we need a year to polish this up.
like
It's just a lot of time. It's just a lot of things. No one's gonna know. I actually worked on this part. Oddly
Is
enough,
this working right? Is anything working?
Listen, I'm not working right now. I don't know if you know this. Okay. What are we doing? No, I think it should be. I think it should be good. The audience game. So I did work on this slightly though.
Okay. So this is good?
This is good. This is good. I think this is good. Once we submit some stuff, I think we'll find out. And we have the moderator controller too, so we'll see how that's working.
Okay, cool.
Is that the voice from role models? I don't remember. I actually don't remember who the voice actor was for role models. I couldn't tell you. I'm pretty sure they were different than role models and Drawful. So.
Correct. Yeah, they're not the same between the two.
Right.
That's for sure. Kayla, I believe, was the voice actor for role models, but don't quote me.
Yes, you're 100% right. Yeah.
Kayla Pulley, is that right?
I don't remember their last name.
Oops. Which is what you want. You want to be saying oops on Drawful.
At this point, you're gonna want to start thinking about that second.
Yeah. Moderation's going, so I think we're good. Alright. Layla. Is that right? I feel like that's not.
Is what we're on.
Oh, you're right. Oh, sorry. I'm thinking of Kayla is the voice actor for Talking Points. That's my bad. Yeah, I think it is Layla. Who?
Kayla? Wait, no. Was it Layla? I don't remember.
I don't
remember.
I think the wiki is right. Aaron.
Oh, Ben has a question. What's your favorite variable name? I actually do have a story for this.
Yeah.
So
It's a role model story, right?
yeah, it is. It is actually a role model story.
I know the one you're talking about.
So I have another one too. There's two. There's also I think in one point in Champed Up there's a variable name called it's called like Rain of Fire. I don't remember what it was called, but it's the most metal name I've ever come up with for a variable. But
I have an answer for this too, actually. And it's a Jack thing.
oh, really? Okay. My favorite role models one is there's the transition, right? So the transition that like puts the hands together and flips and then does the opening. There's a right side and a left side. And I have a Boolean in there that's called is wipe right. And I have, because I want to make sure that if it's the right side or the left side. So is it the right side wipe? But I have a cheeky comment in there that says if is right left is right wrong true, we have a problem. It's a poop joke. And that's basically what I'm getting at. There's a Jackbox game in there, and I want you to know that it has a poop joke in the code because I'm a child. What's your variable? And you don't know, Jack.
Okay, so, and you don't know, Jack, if you answer in the gibberish question, if you answer fuck in that text field, the game will notice this and kind of, send you some stuff or like have a call out that's like, could you be an adult? Like, how dare you? But multiple players can do that in a given moment. So we need to keep track of all the players that have entered fuck and give them the Easter egg. So there is an array of players called fucking players.
Oh my god!
And you need to check if the array of fucking players dot length is greater than 0 and do some stuff.
That sounds suspect.
So, and I did that as an intern.
and then I got hired.
So,
someone actually has a very great eye. Egyptian Sniper. It says, is Gene the same drawing from Gene and Champed Up, but with a different color per player? Great eye. It actually is. So this is the Gene that I made in Champed Up, and then when we were doing this game, I passed it along and was like, here, if you need a stub thing. Isaac, who is the lead engineer on this game, was asking, where'd you get the code for Gene? So it is the exact same point distribution as it is in Champed Up.
Sushi the Beast asked, what's the most frustrating or funny bug you've seen in Jackbox?
The fact that Clara can't play any of our games on Party Pack 8.
It did specifically say, besides the game not working on one account.
Dang it. Then nothing. This game's, everything's amazing.
I think I actually have an answer for this, which is the first time that we tried to run a game Swift, a flash file, when compilation failed. Do you remember this moment in Role Models where, like, like all of the animations that happen in a given bit of flash content, so like like these things appearing, or the timer dog corgi coming across, these are all like little animations that play, and at the end of each of these animations there's a little call to stop, which just tells the movie clip stop playing, because there's a playhead moving up a timeline, and if you don't have a stop call, it would just keep going forever. We, at some point, tried to put a Swift, a bit of flash content into the game where compilation had failed, and all of those little stops were missing. So when we got to the moment in the game where that Swift content loaded, every animation in the entire game played at once and just looped.
Vaguely, I don't actually. Is it the reveal screen? Because I remember, it was hand opening and then the drops and then the other thing.
It was it was a totally normal game, and then we loaded a file, and then just everything started playing at once.
I totally forgot about that.
It was the most wild looking screen I've ever seen in my life, and I couldn't stop laughing at the idea of just shipping that. And just having.
But this is what you get.
What, you want all the art all the time? Yeah. It's like.
You said you wanted art in your game, right?
Yeah.
You said art. It's like smoking a cigarette, and then your parents are like, "You want all the cigarettes now? You're finishing this pack."
Yeah. My first bug I ever introduced in the game was there was a timer warning sound effect. If you know Jack, for the last 5 seconds of the timer, just goes beep on each second for the last 5.
Yeah.
And as an intern, I thought I would be clever and help out by, instead of playing the sound effect 5 times, I know that you can just create like an audio file at 60 beats per minute, and then put the sound effect 5 times, and then just call play once at the top of the 5 seconds and stop it 5 seconds later. I forgot that the timer could end midway through those 5 seconds if players all submitted.
So no matter what, it was playing the soundbite all the way through the.
So what happened was, the very first time that sound effect warning comes up, the players submit their answers, and the timer continues to play for the rest of the game.
Oh no!
And so I'm sitting in this room with this timer blaring. The director, Ryan DeGiorgi, who I've known for a month, turns to me and is just like, so, I mean, do we keep going or do we just stop? And I'm just like, so I get up and leave the room and go fix the bug, because I knew exactly what it was.
Yeah.
And it was just, I felt
so
bad.
You know, it's crazy, because as an intern, you must have been
I thought I was
freaking out.
I thought I was going to just die.
Because the best part is, like, knowing Ryan now, and like now that I know Ryan and hearing that comment, it was probably like, okay, should we just stop it? Like, there's no reason.
Exactly.
Right, but when you're an intern, you're like, oh, my life is over, dude.
The game director. Yeah.
That must have been stressful as hell. That is one of the things as like an intern that I'm happy that I'm not doing right now. And if anybody's in an internship right now, I guarantee that more often than not, you will think that a thing is a lot bigger of a deal than it is. It's kind of good to sometimes think that it is just to keep yourself on your toes, but also don't give yourself.
So little.
It does not.
One play test in the middle of June, we ended early.
This is what we're
Who cares?
Right.
Everyone in that playtest was probably like, "Oh, thank God, I can go do work."
Right?
Like-
I don't have to listen to the siren for 20 minutes.
Right. Right.
Oh man. You want art? You got art. You know, role models also had another bug that was kind of interesting. I think we had a performance bug in role models where
Would be so fucking right now.
oh, that's not right. There's nowhere close that's right. But we had a performance bug in role models one time. Is you know how it was the first game to actually have player portraits in our game, so you could take a picture of yourself and then put it in the game.
Yeah, you could take selfies. That was the first game that we had.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We had to go through a
Camera
bunch of
access.
Camera access was a nightmare.
Yeah.
So we had that was the first game that we ever did that, and as a result, we had to send up data, and we had to convert the picture and then send it over to us, and then we display that picture. The one thing that to keep in mind is that anything you display on screen has to get rendered, and has to get rendered multiple times. With pictures, it's a little easy because you could just put that on one thing, and it's basically just a mapping, and it says like this pixel has this color, this pixel has this color, this pixel has this color. So nothing has to get actually calculated. Where it gets a little interesting is that because we were sending pictures, we wanted to crop it, but we wanted to crop it in the circular fashion, right?
Cropping.
The picture cropping. You remember this.
Yeah.
So our entire game was unplayable at one point because the way we were doing the picture cropping, so what we did is we had a technique called masking. So what it is basically you can put an image behind it and you can have whatever shape you want, and then you put a mask in front of it. And
A
what you do-
shape that essentially cuts.
Yeah. Have you ever seen
Yeah.
that game show Hole in the Wall? It's like Hole in the Wall, but for art.
It's like a cookie cutter and whatever. Yeah.
Much
like
better description.
Cookie dough is your full picture, and then we had a circular oval cookie cutter that was the avatar head from role models. Mm-hmm. And that's the mask. The mask is the cookie cutter.
Yeah, that is a much better way of explaining it than what I went with. But basically what the issue was that like the pictures came down, we had a mask, but we had a mask on everything. So
We had a mask on every single avatar that
Yeah.
was on screen, and sometimes we had those little vote heads that would come up. So you'd have 20, 30 masks
Yeah.
on screen.
And to explain a little bit more of the graphics for anybody that's a little interested in them, a lot more nerdy like me, you have so the way why masks make it difficult is you have
Behold, your
an object in space that exists that's basically telling the camera like, hey, everything in these specific places where you don't have that cookie cutter has to be not displayed, and then everything that is in that cookie cutter has to be displayed. Where that gets tricky is that whenever you start moving things, oh well, now we have to do calculations. We have to do calculations to see if the thing behind it is actually being displayed, and then if the thing in front of it should be displayed. So,
And you have to do that every single frame.
you have to do that every single
Every
frame.
single frame, if the thing is moving, you have to recalculate
Let's check out
what
the
is
results.
behind me. Like,
Yep.
has it moved? And then also do the cropping.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Is
But-
the
but
thing
yeah.
gonna be even shown after? Like, so it's like a multi-layer calculation because you have the thing behind it, which is like,
basically,
where
I
is
think-
this?
I think
and
we
then
were
where's the thing in
running,
front of it?
I think we were running at like a frame every 3 seconds.
Yes.
It was
It was like- it was awful.
It was like frame 2, 3, 4 frame. It was like really quite horrendous. What
It
we
was
had
a straight up.
built.
Oh yeah,
It was
no.
like- oh, and of course our games are available for purchase on iPads and Apple TVs and Amazon Fire Sticks. So like it has to run on that, not
That's-
your gaming PC or your Xbox Series X.
And that's a thing that we forget sometimes
Yeah.
too. Like
Yeah.
to be completely honest with you, it's something because it's something we forget. When we got to the Amazon Fire Stick, it was like, oh crap, nothing is working,
Nothing.
and it's not working at all.
And our solution was
Yeah, the way we actually ended up fixing it was, I love the faster and slower on this game, by the way. So you can actually change the animation timing, which is my favorite little perk in this game. Or I don't know if perk is the right word, but a little feature.
Yeah.
The way to solve this masking issue ended up being, so you get the bitmap data, like you get the bit data, and instead of masking
image,
it,
yeah, the image that you took, which is almost always a square.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. It was always it's everything is in squares behind
Or
the
rectangles.
rectangles or squares and behind the hood. Basically, what the idea was, okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this circle, I'm gonna take the base of the circle, which was an oval, which is what made it stupid.
Yeah.
The oval is what made it hard, because if it was just a circle, it'd be okay. The problem is that because it was an oval, I had to draw an oval polygon and then cut it out, physically cut it out. Not physically, digitally cut it out of the portrait and then paste it onto the little avatars.
Like, take it, because also to get the image back and forth, we encode it as base 64 and then send it over the WebSocket wire that we were talking about earlier. And then, it's convert from base 64, convert it to a bitmap, draw it, there's this oval, cut it, convert it back.
Yep.
And it's just like, oh.
I don't know. It was a lot.
So that's one of the reasons why when you first send your picture, when you first send a picture to role models, you might get a couple frames of a hitch in the game. It's like it's doing a lot of processing on that image that you just gave it. That's why you get those little hitches when you send your photos in.
And the best part about that is it does it once at the beginning of the game, which is what made this bug really frustrating, was it does it once specifically at the beginning of the game. That way you don't have to do it ever again later in the game.
Yeah.
So it's like these small little things small little techniques that we do behind the scenes that you don't really know, but like once you start dealing with so many different platforms and a lot of different things and start trying to cover all your cases, you realize that sometimes the first solution is not always the best solution.
Yeah.
It gets you out there and it formulates what you need to do, which I always say, do it rude and crude the first time, every single time, and then try to fix it later.
Yeah, you want to avoid, the concept is premature optimization.
Yeah.
The idea that you build a system that is overly robust, or contains too many contingencies and is therefore too slow to build to get to a point where you figure out whether or not you even want the thing.
Oh yeah. Over designing and over engineering is like one of the things that plagues me the most, for sure.
Yeah.
Also, I love this picture. There's something about it where there's something about dancing with flies that I absolutely love. Like this right here is the real Lord of the Flies.
Yes. Begin 9. Said that wrong, but recently learned that Jackbox is literally made using Flash. Yup, it's all Flash still.
Don't give up.
It's all Flash, and it's rendered in a custom spun engine that is built around Scaleform, GFX Scaleform.
Yeah. Does this mean
Autodesk is the company that made Scaleform. They went under, but we still have a license to it. So.
Oh man. Does this mean that true 3D is impossible?
No.
Yes and no.
Remember that rotating cube demo that Ben made that one time?
Are we talking about in respect to our games?
Yes.
Okay, well, three dimensions is not impossible.
The way that we make our games, you're not gonna see like a true 3D like
Get over yourself. Just pick something.
like bit of art content, but we as engineers, we are capable of rendering 3D content, especially on top of this stuff if we wanted to, but really it's just not like what we do.
It's kind of hard to you have to balance like, well, what do you gain from 3D? It was something that I tried looking into at the beginning of the season. Actually, it was can we get a two-dimensional object to live within a three-dimensional space? It makes it very useful, especially with coal mine. One of the things that I was trying to get to was trying to make it like an actual cave, right? So if we can do a cylinder around, like if we can do like a cylinder viewport around everything, then it would make it more cave-like and we can give it that three-dimensional feeling to it. Oddly enough, actually, TMP looks 3D, but it isn't. It's like, when we go through the hallway.
Hallways and even more wild, for those hallways, the vast majority of the time, those are MP4s playing in the background.
Yeah.
That's usually not even Flash content. That's like just a video file playing.
And sometimes that ends up being, it's just that it ended up being more effective to play a movie or to play a video. Like we were talking about earlier with the rendering, everything on screen has to be rendered, which means everything on screen has to be calculated. So it ends up being quite a lot. If
Sometimes
it
it
ends
is
up being a
more
movie.
efficient to just play a video file and then render stuff on top of that,
Mm-hmm.
which is what, like the little avatars on the top of the TMP2 answer trivia stuff. That's Flash content that's getting rendered on top of a movie file. That is the animated background.
Yeah.
Of like the hallway transitions or whatever.
And True 3D, True 3D is actually kind of fun because there's a lot of games that do 2D that actually do it in kind of True 3D too. Like everything Unity is a 2D.
Yeah.
Is like 2D, 3D.
Unity's 2D is literally just we're just not going to let you move. I think Z is their third, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you can literally just like turn the camera in the editor and be like, oh yeah, wait, this is all still in 3-dimensional working space. But
Yeah, it's just like it's literally a 3-dimensional game, but with a fixed camera on like one location. Because if you get rid of one axis of rotation, then it's effectively 2-dimensional, you know?
yeah.
So, is True 3D possible? Yes, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah, and also we want our games to run on an Amazon Fire Stick.
I feel like maybe we
So,
might.
like-
I want to look into it though, because I feel like we might be able to. The 3D, I feel like we just need to come up with like a smart way to do it, but I just don't know what it is.
Pick the right one, or a funny one, or anyone.
I think the answer I selected was right.
All right, let's see how this all
2D
goes.
this, 3D that, 4D what?
Buoy radio.
I thought it was buoy radio.
That's a lot of points that person just got.
I haven't been paying attention to points at all. I've been so busy talking about stuff.
Yeah, I wonder how I'm doing.
Man, I'm notoriously terrible at these
Oh.
games. Yes! Oh, my bad. Boom!
Oh!
Notoriously terrible? Not anymore, baby!
Oh, you just destroyed everything.
I just made a fool of. I know.
Double down.
Whoever doubled down, oh. That was my round. I didn't even know. I didn't even. Oh. Rival chimney sweeps?
Wait, what?
Wait, how?
Oh, I'm so excited. This is how it turned out.
That's a boat.
That's a boat on
That's a
water.
boat. There's no way.
The eyes and tell me that's
How much
a
money?
boat.
3,000 points. Thank God, I went from nothing to something. I'm
in first place right now.
I went. Oh, you went to first place?
I'm in first place right
This is. Yeah, but you are good at our games, all right?
now. What? I'm awful at our game.
Yeah, it says the person who's like usually top 3.
I'm just really bad at art. Avery agrees it looks like a boat.
Oh no! All right, well, there goes my lead.
I don't want. I know what you did, but I don't want to say it in case it loses you points.
Yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna leave it.
No, yeah.
I was really proud of my. Whatever. I'm just gonna leave it. Oh man. Speaking of hanging fish, have you ever had? Charlogan mentioned hanging fish. Have you ever had like? Have you ever gone to like a proper fish smokery?
Fish smoker.
Yeah, they have like one. I don't know if it still exists. Back in the so Chicago has old school fish smokery a long time ago called Calumet Fish Smokery, I think it's called. And it's this big ass room that just has a bunch of fish on hooks, and it's just smoking a meat. It's really cool. It's actually very interesting. But highly recommend if you have never been to go to a smokery. It is a little depressing if you like animals. But I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and deny it. I love animals, and you go in there and you look at the fish, and it's like I get it. People are like, fish are, oddly enough, fish are friends, not food. But I feel like the grand majority of the world is just like fish are food,
but
not
they are
friends.
food, though,
Right? Yeah. I mean, like that's the problem. But you know, you go into a fishery and you're like, wow, there's a lot of fish that's just hanging home. Man, they're just hanging out, and then they're like, nah, man, they're dead. So it makes me sad. But Highly recommended. I think the smokery was actually a really cool experience, and the fish there was actually wonderful too.
I assume. I
really
mean,
liked it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like a mom and pop shop that's existed since 1920s, I think. It's really nice.
I'm loving mom and pop shops.
Oh, me too. Me too. There is this. Oh yeah, There was a point in my life where I was trying to find the best fish and chips in the city because my dad grew up in Pakistan, but has British influences, so loves fish and chips. And then, came to Canada and then came here, so he has a Canadian, British, Pakistani accent, which is
Okay,
fun,
yeah.
Which is why I say stupid words like zebra. But yeah,
I want the best fish and chips in the city, though. Do you know? Are you the keeper of the knowledge?
Yes, there's also a place on the south side. I don't remember if it exists. It wasn't too far from Calumet. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Okay.
But it had really good fish and chips. It had they sold whitefish by the half pound, and it was really good. So they sold fried fish by the pound.
I could do a half pound of it.
Absolutely, I destroyed it. Eat your heart out, Long John Silver's. Eat it out. This is a call-out post to Long John Silver's. I'm taking your captain's license. This is ridiculous.
Okay.
I swear, I think this show is gonna be the dead end of all of our brand deal.
If you're stuck, just put your mom. That always wins.
Were there any unexpected difficulties in getting Drawful Animate working? Yes. One of the things that I can only speak with the beginning of production, but one of our biggest challenges with Drawful Animate was actually the animating part. I know that when we were doing the prototype and the paper testing, we wanted to make a Drawful sequel before we actually figured out what does the Drawful sequel entail. It was something that was kind of bumping around all the time, but it was the animation thing that ended up being the biggest hurdle.
Yeah.
It was just trying to get it right, playing with the speed. Do we have it be like the onion skin? I know when you draw one drawing, having the onion skin be the second frame, that was a big part of it too.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest problem with Drawful Animate was more of getting it off the ground than it was with actual implementation. Since we had Drawful as
people think I think that there's this idea from the vast majority of non-game developers' experiences of games. I guess I should have said gamers. Okay, perhaps. People who play games. There's, I think, an expectation that doing a sequel is easier than coming up with something new.
Yes.
This is true in some respects and not others. For games like ours, we did have a Drawful code base to look at.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, that made it.
But we have made so many changes to how our games function at a core level since the last Drawful game happened that taking the old Drawful code base and bringing it up to speed to how our current games work is a huge amount of work. Arguably harder than just starting from scratch. The problem is that people want to play the game. People want to play the game.
They want to test it.
They want to test it, right? So it might be a little faster, a short-term perspective to branch an old code base than to start fresh. But at the end of the day, there's all these weird anachronisms of the old code base that you probably didn't write, aren't as super familiar with.
Oh, yeah.
So, and relied on old dependencies of the, more common code and.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's tough. It's really hard to go back and do a code base from several years ago and bring it up to speed.
It's funny that you mention it because bringing Drawful Animate up to speed was what I did. It took.
Yeah.
Michael's not joking. It took me 3 straight weeks of work to get Drawful 2 to run. I'm not even talking about play the game. I'm talking about getting it running and just trying to get to the end. It was getting it getting it just to start a game and then get to the end with drawings, draw the drawing on screen, and have it not look like just pure garbage was impossible. It wasn't impossible. It just took 3 weeks of work.
Yeah.
So it takes a shocking amount. I think that was one of the harder parts was since we had a code base, there was a lot more work that had to do that was less on the design side. There was a ton of work to do on the design side. Don't get me wrong. But it was Drawful Animate had an interesting beginning because it had its own code base to start off with. So there was a lot of like getting it up to date, getting it playable, getting it working, and then finally now we're designing.
Yeah.
Are these sushi the best? Are these pimps randomized? Because a lot of them don't make a lot of sense. The reason I like this question is I'm pretty sure the way that some of these prompts are developed is by playing the game.
True. It is. Play testing this game early, people's answers for the fake titles just became other prompts.
Yeah. I think it might have been the case for Drawful Anime too. I mean, granted, our writers are insanely talented too, so some of them are just like off the dome. But yeah, some of them are also just came up because people were trying to guess what that was supposed to be, and it got such a big. I got it right. Okay, and it got such a big.
What?
I got it right.
What?
It just seemed like a goblin wearing a diaper, you know? Oh, poopy. I was close. I'll take top 4. Of course, Michael. I never win one of our games.
I never win drawing games. I suck at it. I don't know, but I guess it's called Drawful, so.
I guess that's where it works out. But yeah, some of the prompts are actually prompts that some of us just submitted, and it made us laugh in the room so much. Yeah.
Yep.
So it made us laugh so much, we were just like, all right, screw it, it's going in the game.
Yeah. Well, it's that time of the stream again,
It is.
where we open up our diary and we try to wrangle all of the stuff that we've said over the last 90 minutes. This is the long one.
This was a long one, yeah. We took a little bit longer on this. Thanks for hanging out with us, everybody.
Yeah.
Last week, on the screen is last week. Last week we got not on the screen. On our screen, you can't do anything. You can't see what we see. This is a secret.
What?
But last week, what was it? The title of the episode was Mark Somewhere on the West Coast. Oh, Mark's on the West Coast. I forgot about that. Anything that's not on your mark is Narnia's business. Is Narnia business. Yo, that's great. We can't top that.
Hilarious.
Was that you? I was gonna say, was that me?
You can't top yourself. Oh, darn.
Oh, well, this sucks. Well, I peaked. Now that we know that.
Well, what is our life lesson from today's playing?
What did we talk about?
We talked about job for a while.
We talked about capitalism for a second.
Yeah. We talked about getting a job. We talked about making your own game ideas. We talked about taking breaks and scheduling breaks for yourself.
Scheduling breaks is other comment on that. Don't only schedule yourself one 15-minute break. Do it multiple times. You won't. That's a challenge.
Howard.
Yeah.
Howard.
I'll tell you right now, this is a call-out post to all of our audience. Take a break. Take multiple. You won't. That's right.
Oh, and then Pull Mine hung because of an anachronistic bug on.
Oh. Yeah. Because Claire's account was the account issue.
So.
Okay.
Oh, and we did talk about fun bugs for a while.
How about the title of the episode is
The best bugs, the ones that's inside you all along?
No, ooh, that's good. I was thinking a bugs, the wonderful fruit, the more you squash, the more you do.
Oh, wow.
Or a little bit better. Bugs.
I see what you're going for, though.
Yeah.
Bugs, the wonderful... Okay, so it was fruit in the original.
It is fruit. I didn't want to go with fruit, but I couldn't come up with something off immediately. How about
the original? Wait, is it? So
ooh, that's good. Yeah.
The original. Toot. I mean, you could just make it a fart joke. The original toot. Shroot. Boot. Loot. Soot. Newt.
I was gonna go with we talked about the sins of the father earlier today too. So what about like bugs, the original sin? The more you fix, the more you're in.
Oh, I was gonna say the more you win.
The more you I like that too. 'Cause sometimes bugs aren't fixable. I like the more you. This D&D
Bugs,
Sins of the Father.
D&D, the Sins of the Father.
No, what? No, got it.
Okay. So I feel like D&D, the Sins of the Father is great, and then we just make the full thing the thing that you just said, which is bugs. The original sin. The more you squash,
The deeper you're in.
the deeper you're in. Okay.
Or you had something else that was a little
This
bit
is the more you win.
The more you win.
In, bin, sin, win, tin, fin. Is there something with fish?
Oh, fix them up, but don't break your shin. That's a little bit too much.
Fix them up, or they'll break your shins.
Oh, a threat! I like it. I like a bug. I like a mobs to bugs.
Bugs, the original sin. The more you squash, the deeper you're in. Fix them up, or they'll break your shins.
Okay, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Sometimes bugs are the mob, and you never know. And you're late on your payment this month. Where you at?
Jimmy knows where you live.
Jimmy knows where you. Oh, Jimmy. And the best part is it's Jimmy knows, like Nose. So it's like Jimmy knows where you live. Oh, that's too many knows.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well,
All right.
well, everybody, thanks for sticking along for this ride, which it was one.
Oh yeah, there was a lot. Oh, I forgot there was a swing bug too. It doesn't matter. I'm still going on to bugs. It doesn't matter. None of this matters. We're already on the path.
Yeah.
But thanks for joining us here today. We appreciate it.
Yeah. We might be back next week, or it might be 2 weeks, but we'll definitely be on a Monday at this time. So.
Yeah. And if you have a question in the interim when we're not here, burning with questions, there's a Google form. You check out our diary.
Form
Yeah.
on the Jackbox Games blog post about Devs and Diaries. So check that out. Join the Discord if you're not already in it.
Yeah.
That's how you get the room codes to play along with us.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's how you play with us. So if some people were asking how do you play the games, that jump on our Discord.
how you
That's
do
where the codes go in first, and then they go on screen. So yeah,
Thanks for playing along, everybody.
yeah. With that, see you next week.
Right.